Recently, a new version of the full diagnosis of Catherine, Princess of Wales, was voiced by some Spanish publications, citing reliable sources. It was also suggested that due to the new circumstances, King Charles IE has already found a replacement for the princess at the future royal wedding, and at all future official events too. Because of her diagnosis, Catherine will not soon appear in public. So let's today in this video to see if this is really the case, or is it still a fiction of journalists who are trying to raise their ratings. In recent days, the royal torch that lights up the British Isles has not been flickering as brightly as usual. The hearts of the subjects are clenched with anxiety because Kate Middleton, Duchess of Cambridge, wife of Prince William, who ascended to the British Olympus, is not present at numerous official events. Just a day ago, disturbing news swept across the United Kingdom, causing anxiety across the nation. Rumors of Kate's absence from future public appearances, especially ones as significant as the Parade of Colours, raised many questions and controversies. Even the announcement on the royal website of the princess' supposed appearance in June at this celebration now seems ghostly. King Charles III of England, despite his ailment, has decided to arrive at the event, but in an armored car, for his ailment does not allow him to ride on horseback as he did 3 years ago. The official arrangements confirmed without Catherine's involvement are not surprising, especially after details from medical professionals leaked to the Sun newspaper, divulging information outside of her medical records, but relating to the reason Catherine required surgery. It was hysterectomy, and we'll go into more detail now, for we already know about an event scheduled for June 7, where Catherine will definitely not be, the royal wedding in Prince William's family, which I will talk about in more detail later, which William seems to be attending, but Harry is not, despite his close connection to the bride and groom. This is to avoid controversy and prevent talk of discord between the brothers at such a momentous event, which after all should be very beautiful. In Catherine's case, her absence has been confirmed, as has her non-attendance at the 80th anniversary of the Normandy landings, which King Charles is also due to attend, for it will be his first public event since his coronation. An international event so significant that even the King of England had to travel to France. This indicates that his ailment is either under control or is not a serious problem for him to travel, even from the United Kingdom. The world's attention, however, is on another figure of the British monarchy, Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge. Interest in her fate is growing, especially after the medical team associated with the London clinic was forced to intervene by firing several staff members who had divulged information related to Catherine's medical records. These staff members were given access to Catherine's medical history, and while it is unknown whether the information I have is from Catherine's medical records directly or from other doctors who discussed the situation, they have shared some new information. They know those who worked at the London clinic, and I understand what they are saying, for the situation is extremely important. Catherine, Princess of Wales, is now the most discussed person in the world, and many details are now emerging about the reasons for her absence from the public eye. I believe it is a more than valid reason why she is staying out of the public eye. A medical professional associated with her treatment expressed doubts about discussing the topic, noting that the Spanish media, especially El Hormiguero and the Espíritu Público show, failed to accurately convey information about Catherine's condition. First, they spoke of a coma, then of an undisclosed surgery, and later of a hysterectomy, a complicated gynecological procedure. However, the situation is now completely changed. It is now claimed that an intestinal surgery was performed, a partial colectomy affecting only the left side of the colon. This surgery, which lasted from 2 to 4 hours, significantly affects the patient's health, requiring a long recovery with medication and prophylactic chemotherapy, as mentioned by Catherine. There is another surgery that involves partial removal of the colon called subtotal colectomy. This procedure can lead to Crohn's disease, causing serious bowel problems. Patients suffering from this disease cannot lead a normal life. Worse, they cannot even spend time with their children in the park. After this information spreads, it becomes clear why Catherine was absent from scheduled official events, and why her children also allegedly avoid public appearances with their mother. This version of events stands in stark contrast to other media reports claiming that we are talking about a hysterectomy, whereas here we are talking about a subtotal colectomy, the surgical removal of almost the entire colon, with the exception of the sigmoid colon. This surgery is most often performed in the presence of polyps or tumors in these areas of the colon, acute obstruction due to torsions of the descending colon, and usually ends with an iliac sigmoid anastomosis. Given the widespread publicity, it can be assumed that this is what happened to Catherine Middleton. Her absence from official events is explained by the long postoperative recovery, which significantly changes the usual way of life. Perhaps this is why King Charles ID of England decided to find a replacement, a trump card, which in this case was Beatrice of York. Many agree that Beatrice is not fit to be a member of the royal family, but as I said before, the fact that she is Prince Andrew's daughter is not their fault. Prince Andrew was caught up in the scandal surrounding the Epstein case. Moreover, Prince Andrew also faced allegations of abuse, which led to his removal from his official duties in the United Kingdom. Therefore, I believe that being Prince Andrew's daughter is punishment enough without adding charges of unfitness for royal duties. The British crown is indeed in danger, especially after King Charles was diagnosed with cancer. Perceptions of the monarchy have deteriorated, although he has now returned with renewed vigor. However, the rumors about Catherine's family seem to be damaging to the crown. Not just her absence, but the absence of other figures who previously attracted a lot of affection. They don't seem to want the children to appear in public, although the father may attend official events, but his irregular attendance is also troubling to say the least. Another topic I would like to talk about is the upcoming wedding on June 7, but which has already been postponed to June 4. The wedding of the year is how the event has already been dubbed, the marriage of Britain's richest aristocrat, supposedly richer than the king, Hugh Grosvenor, the 7th Duke of Westminster, and his fiancée Olivia Henson. The ceremony is not expected to be all about them, and members of the royal family are also supposed to be there, but rumor has it that the Middletons have decided not to attend the event. William, of course, is again under a big question mark. Undoubtedly, this is another sensitive issue in the long list of problems facing the British monarchy. Several Spanish media outlets have already begun to reveal King Charles' plans for Beatrice to replace public favorite Catherine at this wedding. It has been officially confirmed that 35-year-old Beatrice of York has married Giorda Mappoli-Mozzi. Beatrice seems like the best choice to take over until Catherine returns. It is unknown if Catherine Middleton will return, but the situation is obviously not looking too optimistic. That's all the latest news. Understandably, things are looking too ugly and unclear. This whole delicate situation is shrouded in secrecy, as if the royal palace decided to hide the truth about the health of the Duchess of Cambridge from the prying eyes of the public. Although even Catherine herself has touched on the subject, official sources remain silent, leaving room for speculation and disturbing assumptions. The public is hungry for news, hoping for the best, but in the absence of official confirmations, everyone can only guess at what is really going on behind the palace walls. Optimism, seemingly the natural companion of any recovery, seems to be dulled this time, and hope for a favorable outcome melts with each day of silence of the palace. Catherine Middleton, whose presence has always been so significant at royal events, now remains behind the scenes of her own story, her fate the subject of speculation, and the silent prayers of those who sympathize with her. In this wait for positive news, one wishes her a speedy recovery. We await news and hope for the best. In the same way, we can only express our sympathy and support for the Duchess of Cambridge, whose struggle, though hidden from view, is no less heroic than any other person fighting this disease.